Hey there! Welcome to episode 3 of This Is My Story, a series featuring creative, inspiring, and strong people who are following their passions and getting shit done. I am the owner of Snowman Films, Noah Mittman. I'm a full-time filmmaker, video marketing coach, family man, and entrepreneur. I am on a mission to spread authenticity, love, and connection to the world through the videos that my company makes. I am recording this in my house where I'm currently social distancing with my family, even though being a video editor means that I do this a lot normally, so it's not a huge change. I am committed to continue to create videos that will make you smile, laugh, and maybe even cry, but most importantly, entertain and educate you. So for all of you, stay safe, stay healthy, and please be a part of the solution to the COVID-19 pandemic. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce you to Peggy Dyer of the 1 Million Faces Project.
Breathing is really good. In fact, let's just pause for a second and take a breath because I really need one. All right, bring on the hard questions. I'm ready. My name is Peggy Dyer. I'm an artist here in Denver, Colorado, and I am on a mission to rock 1 million faces. I've seen 1 million faces, and I rocked them all. I'm a photographer. I photograph people with a little white dry erase board, and I ask them, what's your message to the world? And it's been 11 years since I was first inspired to start that project. Welcome to the Magic Cottage. Art is a verb in this house. That's how we do it. I've been using my photography and my indoor cycling classes as a vehicle for many years for both my business and how I make money in the world, and also as a community healing.
This photo that Peggy just took of me made me cry because she captured, I think, my authentic self.
Can you see my mug? All right. How about this mug? I do this work because it brings me joy. And I am so very grateful that every day I am bombarded by messages from my students, whether I've worked with them in front of the camera or whether they've worked with me at Epic Ride, about how the work that we do together makes a difference in their lives. Personally, just the fact that, life has come up and redirected me, I'll say, numerous times over the past decade and a half. I started 2005 from a jail cell. I started 2008 with $50 to my name. And every time something happened, I knew that deep inside that I have this brilliant gift of being able to relate to people and show up with my art, show up with my camera, take a photo, take a portrait, capture a moment. And so that knowing and that deep sense of gratitude, I think too many times to count, man. So back in September of 2013, our community experienced a 100-year flood, which really just flattened a lot of communities. And I was drawn into the community of Lyons, Colorado, where I spent 4 months as an artist in residence, working with the kids in the elementary community to transform that experience of trauma and take them into a conversation of feeling like the hero of their story. And so I put a team together and we went into the school and I photographed the entire school in a day, came back a few weeks later with all of these prints. And then every day the kids would come to the art studio and we would do a series of movements to a poem, and then the kids would make art. When we unveiled it at the community event, I didn't know that they were going to do this, but they brought up a kid from each of the grades, like preschool all the way to like 4th grade. And the kids stood up there and each one of them said something like, Miss Peggy is
cool, artistic, beautiful, loving, my hero, a sea of happiness.
By the time they got to like the last kid, who was my friend Bernadette's daughter, Emily said,
smart, good at yoga, and
Miss Peggy is my friend. And I lost it much more than I'm crying right now, ugly crying, just as the principal was like handing me a microphone. And I am like crying so hard. And the kids, like the whole gymnasium erupts and they just start saying my name.
Peggy, 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 Peggy.
And let me tell you, like, in that moment, I was utterly speechless and flooded with so much gratitude and connection, and just this like confirmation of, yes, this was by far one of the most amazing experiences of my life. So talking to people and looking up and remembering their names and being in contact really helps to kind of make those connections. So, and also know I'm grateful for you. Like if I had to put another person in the gratitude category, buddy, you'd be there. Because meeting you changed my life. Like I met you at an event, you made a video for me, and we've had some pretty crazy adventures since then. And you really empowered me to, you know, add a few more tools to my tool belt and allow me to tell deeper, more connecting stories. So Noah, I'm grateful for you. Oh, pan back to Noah's crying. Oh, Noah, don't touch your face. Get your hand out of your eye. Noah, wash your hands, man. Never underestimate your power to change the world. The title of my memoir, Laughing All the Way. Well, they do call me the Giggling Shaman. Here's what I would say to myself 10 years ago. Still file your tax returns. Even though you're homeless, even though you're living in your car, you better still file those, because eventually when you pick yourself up and you bring yourself back to the level of like being a functional member of society, you're gonna need to show all that. And if you don't have it, it can really complicate things. And so that would be my advice, is to, you know, stay current on like the business end of being in business. I think that the quote that really, if I had to like have it all summed up in one, I would have to go to Mary Oliver, of course, and it would have to be, and I say to my heart, rave on. No, it would be, tell me what you will do with this one precious and wild life. No matter what's happening, this is serious. I say this to my students all the time, and it's really because so many therapists and teachers have said it to me, is that the only thing that we can control, no matter what's happening out there in the world, is how we respond to it. And on today, March 17th, 2020, there is literally, right now, a pandemic, a global pandemic. We as a nation are being told to like self-quarantine, stay in our houses, limit contact. Bars and restaurants and entire cities are closing down. People are worried. I'm worried. I'm an artist. This is a serious problem that we are all facing. Even in this where we are right now, like students reaching out asking for, you know, like classes, and can you do yoga, and can we do a class online? Because I show up in those moments where I just try to fully embody what I'm feeling, and I share that as raw as I can with my class in an attempt to remind them to be strong and brave and deep in their own lives and learn to use their voice. And that is powerful stuff. Well, right now, I am using this time, honestly, to really dive into, and this is hardly even a real, this is like 4 photo shoots printed in 4x6s of photos and messages from my 1 Million Faces project. And honestly, what I want to do right now, what I'm diving into right now, is telling all of these stories and taking these photos that are so inspiring and getting them out of these shoe boxes and putting them into, you know, context and journals and inspiring people, you know, by telling them stories to make them feel good. And they're true. All of the stories are true. I believe we're going to be publishing them on my YouTube channel, and you can find me on Patreon. I'm Peggy Dyer. I've seen 1 million faces.